All right. We are getting ready for Real Talk with Tanya White Live. We finally got Zay Grastley on, and I see it with no countdown, so we right on air. But listen, before we get to talking to Mr. Zay Grastley, just remember this coming Tuesday, next Tuesday, vote. Early voting is still available, I believe, until this Saturday. But if you don't get to early vote, you better take your butts to the poll next Tuesday. Ours open up at 6 a.m. over here in Louisville, Kentucky. And I don't know what time y'all open, but y'all better make time to vote. All right. If you don't make time to vote, you just a part of the problem. All right. Next Tuesday, it is voting time for a president. I know Louisville has some bills and some things we got to vote for, and Kentucky also. So get out there, exercise your right to vote. And if you don't vote, what I say, you part of the problem. Welcome. He is here, the man. I met him a couple of weeks ago, I guess, on Cyrus Webb and Friends Present. And y'all know how much I love country music. And he has promised that one of these days we're going to do a duet. Right, Zay?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Because I'm a country music star in my head. Welcome to the show, Zay Grastley.
How you doing? Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. We're going to talk quickly because many people, when you hear country music or country artists, they automatically think you're not black, right?
They do. A lot of people do.
There have been some, Charlie Pride, Darius Rucker, some others. And now we have Zay Grastley. But you're more than that, and we're going to get into that. Before I dig into my questions, Zay, listen, tell the audience who you are, where you're from, how you get into music.
I'm Zay Grastley. I'm everybody's favorite country boy. I mean, I'm down home guy, Gastonia, North Carolina, country boy, you know. And I tell everybody you can find out more about me through my music than actually through me, but
through your music.
I'm an open book, but my music is like everybody says it's the eyes, but it's my music. My music is like the windows to my soul.
Yes, the windows to your soul. Now, Zay, what part of North Carolina are you from again?
Gastonia.
Gastonia. What's that by?
I'm about 20 minutes, 30 minutes outside of Charlotte. So Charlotte's like the big city. So Gastonia, okay. Cherryville, Kings Mountain, we the country. That's like the country outside the city.
Okay. So Charlotte, if you go to Charlotte, go visit Zay at Gastonia, North Carolina. Or invite him to your city. We're going to get into that, how you can invite him and book him. Zay, how did you get into music, first of all?
Music's always been a part of me. Ever since I was a kid. It's always been music. Music was always my go-to. It was either music or drawing. And then while I was drawing, I had to have music. So music has always been a part of me.
So I'm an educator, Zay. So can I safely say that you were probably one of them students who drew as you were listening to the teacher?
I got in trouble a lot for drawing in books and for beating on the tables, making beats.
I was getting ready to go to the beats.
I stayed in trouble for beating on the table. I stayed in trouble for beating on the table.
Beating on the table. And they didn't know that it was in your soul. Music is in your soul. So were you in any part of like choir, band in school?
Never.
Nothing? No teacher said, Zay, don't beat on the table. Let's beat these drums and get you in the band.
No, never. They always kept telling me to be quiet.
Oh man, you had the wrong teacher.
Making all that noise.
If you had me, I would have said, let's get you in this band, okay?
Yeah, y'all quit making all that noise.
And then drawing. So get to what you said. Music has always been a part of your life, but what was it? Say, hey, I'm going to try this professionally. I'm going to launch into it, and then write, because you write most of your own songs, right?
I write all my own music.
Yes. And so, what made you say, hey, it's time for me to do this and share it with the world?
So I think art was, and it's crazy to say, but I think art was my love before music. I didn't really get into music. My younger brother, he passed away in 2008. Music was his thing.
Okay.
So And because I was always in the art, I used to write poetry and I used to always write. And,
Mhm.
he would always come in here and, let's do this, let's do this. And I'm like, man, I ain't got time for that. But
Mm.
it ended up like growing on me.
Yeah.
So just, watching him and his friends and his homeboys, they had like a little group, watching them go in the room and record music and stuff. And I mean, I was always there. I was always
Uh-huh.
around it. But as a kid, I was kind of quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Okay.
was, in my mind, I was like in my head, I was like, oh, I can do that. I can
Mm-hmm.
do that. I can do that. But I wasn't really wanting to jump out there and do it.
Yeah.
But I broke out my shell a little bit. But then once he passed away, I knew like his passion for it. And I was writing music before then, but I wasn't taking it serious.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry to hear about the passing of your brother. It's sometimes death brings new life to people who are still here, and their death and their spirit pushes you to
It does.
do what you were already doing, but do it at another level. Did you feel that that's what happened to you?
Exactly. It does.
Yeah.
I
So
feel like me not doing it is like a letdown to him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have to continue on what he always you said he always said, come in here and let's do this. So
Exactly.
he saw something in you that you probably saw in yourself, but you like, man, let me do my art.
And I really wasn't focused. He tried to keep me focused on something other than the street.
Yes.
That was that was
Yes.
his thing. For him to be the younger brother, he was like the older one.
Okay, the older. So you said you was in the art.
Mhm.
That drawing behind you, is that you?
That's my logo.
Okay. Did you draw it?
No, that's on the screen on here. I got it on the
Okay.
screen.
Okay.
So
All right. I just want because some people have to do all their marketing and
oh yeah,
logo. And
I
I was
got.
going to say,
I'm on the laptop. I can't turn it, but I'm in my studio. I got all my paintings and stuff up around the wall. You can't see them.
so
But
you're a painter and
oh yeah,
artist and
I
a
paint,
songwriter.
tattoo, write music. I'm an artist and all. That's why I always say I'm an artist.
Mm,
Oh, you a rapper? And I'm like, no, I'm an artist.
I'm an artist,
I
artist.
feel like
Now,
that.
even when you're tattooing, okay, because
Mm-hmm.
I have some students, that's what they want to do, and they are the ones who are always drawing. They're listening, and I have to tell some of my teachers, hey, they're listening, but they're drawing. That's how they pay
That's how they
attention.
relate. Yep.
Yeah. And so when you're tattooing somebody, does like a song come to you or something like, oh, let me do this, or man, I wish they would let me do this, because you're always in that creative mode when you're an
Yep.
artist.
I got like a whole tattoo playlist that I just put it on and put my earphones in when I tattoo. It's just my little wild. I got to be in like a certain mind space when I tattoo.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
always tell people, I'm like, hey, don't think I'm ignoring you, but I'm putting these headphones on to just zone out a little bit.
To be in your zone. How long you been tattooing?
Probably about 13, 14 years now.
Oh wow. You
Well,
you you one of the
in and out of
experts.
professionally, I would say about 12, 13 years. But of course, I did it as a teenager. I got in trouble tattooing everybody in the neighborhood. I got in a lot of trouble for drawing on people too.
Wow. But that's
Yeah.
okay. Now it's starting to pay off, and people like this.
Hmm.
This is why they were
When
just
I
short.
when I first started doing it and got in the shops, I had a lot of people that were still around that knew me when I was a teenager. Hey, man, look at this tattoo you done when you was. I was like, yeah, I know it looked bad.
Did you give them a do over?
Yeah, I've done a lot of them. I've tattooed a lot of people all over the United States. I've traveled around tattooing a lot. Tattooing is one of the things that allows me to really be able to travel with music the way that I do.
Okay. So let's get into that. The tattooing and then the music. When you got and said, okay, let me do music. What was it about having was country your first genre of choice to sing?
So as a kid, I grew up listening to like Southern rock.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up listening to country. And I didn't hear rap until like my early teenage years from my
Mm-hmm.
sister. My sister grew up in California, so she introduced me to like the rap scene. But before then, it was always like Motown or Southern rock or country or something like that. My mom listened to everything, so it was all over the place. But I would say country was probably definitely my first love in a genre. It would probably be like country Southern rock.
Country Southern rock. So who were the people, the artists that you listen to that like, ooh, this is it?
So I say that, and a lot of people like, oh, she wasn't Southern rock, and I'm like, yeah, she was.
Who?
Like my mom listened to like a lot of Aretha Franklin.
Oh yes, she was Southern. Yes,
Southern rock.
Absolutely.
So when I say Southern rock, I mean artists like James Brown.
Yes.
Little Richard, like Deep South. Yes. They were all considered Southern rock artists.
Absolutely.
So and a lot of people don't know that. They're like, oh, they was R&B, and I was like, no. I'm like, no, it was Southern rock. Yeah. So yeah, it was like a lot of, and even when it was like Shirley Caesars or it was just my mom was all over the place. It depended on her mood and what day of the week it was. Thursday, Friday, you might be hearing Luther Vandross all weekend. Luther, then it go into Whitney or something else, but it was always something soulful. Yeah. And then with my grandfather, he was like a Bob Marley, and he listened to like the top 40 radio. So that's where I got like a lot of the pop, the actual country music, stuff like that in there.
Yeah. So if you just joined, we're talking to Zay Grastley from say your city again, Zay.
Estonia, North Carolina.
Estonia, North Carolina, by Charlotte. And so it's interesting that you say Aretha Franklin, because when I think of her music, she wrote a lot of her songs. I mean, you had to twist her arm to get her to sing something other than something that she wrote. But when I think of when I think of artists like Aretha, Dolly Parton, all the the people who not only are singers but they write their songs.
Patsy Cline.
It is something deeper when they perform it, because not only did they write it, but they're writing from experience. Yep. And so is that why you write most of your songs that you sing, so you can write from experience?
I don't know if it's because of the writing. I think it's because, to me, I'm not the best singer. But for me, if it's something like I tell people, I go through spurts. Sometimes I can go in 3 days, I can write 5, 6, 7 songs. Just block in the studio and do it. And then sometimes it might take me a week or two to come up with one song. But it's like I have to write about something I've been through. I can't write about something I'm really not experienced or something I haven't been through. It has to be somebody close enough to me to where I'm almost experiencing it with them to be able to write about it.
Right.
So that's why I don't do a lot of covers, because I'm like, I can sing some songs, but I don't feel like I put into it like I do my songs, because it's my music. Absolutely. It might be selfish, but I just, you know what I mean? Like, it's easier because it's who's to say, if I sing an Usher song, everybody's looking for it to be done that way or close to that way. And you have a height you have to reach.
Right.
But if I give you my music, you don't know where that height is.
Right.
It's where I set it at.
Yeah. Yeah. So I truly understand what you're saying, because I have some friends who are they call themselves songwriters first, and then they're singers, but they love to write these songs because they say it's cathartic, it's healing, and then they connect with it. What is one of your songs? Now you have a CD. I'm sorry, Zay. I'm 53 and sometimes thoughts lose my mind in the middle. But you have a CD out. What song that you wrote on there is the most that you say you've gotten the most? You had to be the most vulnerable, and then even after you wrote it, you weren't sure if you wanted to release it because it was so,
I have one of those. I haven't even put it out yet.
Okay.
But out of the ones that I have out, I would say probably Through It All, and probably Gypsy on the Run.
Gypsy on the Run and Through It All. Now, to my Christian folks, it's not the Through It All that you sang in church, okay? But it still got the same power.
They can sing it.
Yeah, they can sing it in church, but it ain't that. To my greater friendship people, they ain't Miss Sister Bernice song that she used to lead and tear up the church. Okay, this Through It All, I've listened to it and it is powerful. Give us the backstory on that? And first of all, before we get into this music, tell them where they can go hear that and connect with you.
You can listen to my music on all platforms. It's Zay Grastley. The spelling of my name is right there. Mm-hmm. Actually, the video for it's on YouTube. I released a video probably about a month ago. But my music is on all platforms: Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, everywhere.
Basically, it's everywhere that y'all can purchase. And let's go purchase it. So let's talk about Through It All. Through It All. Very powerful. Like I could feel the emotions. But tell us the backstory on that song.
Through It All is a song about, I wrote it for my grandfather and my brother, the one that passed away. So it was when I was younger, my grandpa used to always hum. He used to always hum music. And, you know, I used to hum, but when I was young, I never, like I told you, I was a really quiet kid until I broke out of that. And so when he used to always tell me when people would talk to me, he'd be like, talk up, talk, you know, like talk to him. Like, don't be sitting there with your head down, talk up. And I just be like, I don't want to talk to him. And he used to always tell me, he said, you got a voice, Tom K. You got that gypsy soul. He said, sing it to him. And he used to always tell me to sing.
Oh, wow.
And as a kid, you know, I'm like, man, I'm not about to just start singing to people. Like, I'm not doing that. But I guess it was something he seen in me way before I found it. And he used to always tell me, sing, boy, sing, sing. So any of his friends used to come over and play checkers and stuff. He would make me sing to his friends. Like he would make me sing songs to his friends. And that, to me, I felt so crazy doing it. I'm like, why am I doing this? But that's where the hook came from. Sing, boy, sing. Like no matter, he's like, just sing, just sing.
Just sing. Did you ever ask him why he did that?
Nope.
You just said, okay, Grandpa.
I just knew I had to sing.
And I'm just thinking about some of the my grandparents and even my parents when they, I don't want to say forced you, but encouraged you strongly to do something. That is because they saw something in you or saw how what they was telling you to do was going to take you to another level and make you more comfortable. Exactly. And so when you talk about that sing, boy, sing, and you said that he always used to tell you, speak up. So instead of saying speak up, maybe he said sing, boy, sing, because he probably saw something in you that, you know, this is going to make you comfortable at it. So Through It All, and then you mentioned Gypsy on the Run, right?
Gypsy on the Run.
Backstory?
Gypsy on the Run is when I left. I wrote that song on the road leaving North Carolina. And when I left, I literally just up and left. I sold everything. It just up and left. Didn't know where I was going. Well, I was going to go do an open mic in Massachusetts. I literally left North Carolina and drove to Massachusetts.
Okay.
And so after I done the open mic, you know, in my mind, I was just like, all right, I'm going here. This is going to work. You know, I'm going to get up here. These people going to love my music. Boom. It's over with. I'm going to New York. It's over with. Like I'm getting a record deal. And it just didn't work out that way. It didn't go the way I was planning, but it was really a song just about me. Like, you know what? It's something I wanted to do. And I live once. And I'm just going to take the road wherever it takes me to. And it took me to a lot of different states before it brought me back to South Carolina. But along the way, I think everything I went through along the way is just kind of kept me humble and got me ready for what I feel is about to come. So,
and do you think that you needed that experience to just pack up, sell everything, and have that was your Zay moment?
I did.
People talk about the pivoting moment in our lives. Do you think that was part of it?
Yeah, I think because I've heard a lot of people say in interviews, you know, as long as you're comfortable, you're not going to outwork yourself. And I think me staying uncomfortable and being on the road and not knowing, you know, what was going to happen, it kept me like mind strong and focused on, okay, to get out of this situation. this is what I got to do.
Absolutely.
So I think it kind of
This
kept
is
me
what I
focused.
got to do.
Yep.
That's what pushes people
Mm-hmm.
to say, you know what? I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm gonna do this because I gotta do it. It's like something. It's like if you don't, it's like you're slow dying slowly or something like that. And
Yep.
so for you to do that, we're grateful because now we get to experience Zay, the not only the tattoo artist, all the things, but also the country artist. Now,
Definitely.
you just told me before we got on that you just came back from Nashville, uh,
Yes.
performing. And so, what other performances do you have coming up, or where can people like book you to say, "Hey, Zay, I need you to come
You
perform
can
for me"?
They can book me. They can go to zaygrassleymusic@gmail.com. They can go to zaygrassleymusicepk.com.
Uh-huh.
You can listen to my music. I got videos on there. My book, all my booking information is on there. I do birthday parties, bachelor parties, everything. You put one person out there, you sit your cats and dogs out there. I perform for them too.
So you pay the man. Hey Zay.
As long as
Hey
I
Zay.
get paid, I'm covered. But
So
yeah,
now, what other do you have any bookings? So you can tell our audience they can come check you out.
I do. So right now, I have a show November the 9th in Wisconsin. I'm doing a Redneck Rave up there.
Okay.
But after that, I'm not doing any more shows until the beginning of the year. I'm doing I'm trying to get enough venues together. I'm putting on my own social media promotion tour.
Okay.
So I'm trying to go through North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, like all the southern states.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hosting shows and doing shows and stuff to
Okay.
build up my social media and all of that. So hopefully I'm trying to get that to last for about 3 or 4 months. So
Yes.
hopefully that'll kick everything in gear.
Kick everything in the gear. Y'all go to Zay Grassley Music at gmail.com if y'all want to be a part of that social media tour. He's in all the southern states. I got some
Definitely.
listeners and some loyal followers in the southern states. Zay, thank you for finally being on Real Talk with Tanya White.
Thank you, and I apologize so much for missing the last interview.
Zay, they didn't know that. They didn't know nothing
Oh,
about that.
I had to apologize.
What's
I
that?
literally I got finished tattooing. I looked over at the phone and I was like, "Oh God, it's 5:32."
You was in your zone. You
I
was in your zone.
was, I
So
was.
Zay, before we leave, I want you to talk to that uh aspiring artist, songwriter, musician, who's doing the never been done before. They're not in the genre that people think they should be in. Um, but it's something inside say, hey, I gotta go this way. What would you tell them for someone who has the desire, but fear and doubt may kick in?
To One, I would say is no anybody. Everybody's gonna have an opinion on you, but nobody will actually help you be you, but you. So,
Y'all gotta pay Zay for that one.
so I tell people like, even now, even with some labels I just met with, they're like, so if you change this, this, and this, and everything happens the way you allow it to happen.
Ooh.
If you allow your arm to be bent, it's gonna bend.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not flexible like that and you don't allow your arm to bend, it can't be bent.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's like, and the way the music is right now, it's like me, I want a record deal. But
Mm-hmm.
right now labels are selling artists. Everybody's getting, they spent 500 million something dollars signing overnight TikTok artists, but it's actual artists out here with talent that they don't pay attention to.
Mm.
So I would always say, no matter what, always do it from the heart. Don't do it
Mm.
for a view or don't do it for a like, because I feel like I'm big as any other artist out there, and that's just from the love I get from the few people that I have come across and encountered.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm not gonna bend. I don't bend 6'3", 240, don't bend to. So I'm not I'm not doing no bending, but I would tell any artist to stay strong and just don't let anybody put you in a box
Don't.
because
Yes,
music is supposed to be expressed in so many different ways. That's why
absolutely.
it's sound wave. That's why it's music. It's not to be one way, one set way.
Not one set way. I love what you said in the message. A lot of companies spend a lot of money on the fad. This
Hmm.
the TikTok artists who don't have a lot of talent and ignore the real talented artists.
Exactly.
And automatically, I was like, that is life. It's in
They don't last
relationships.
90
That's
days.
in. Yep. Listen, Zay. I'm gonna have
They
to
don't
bring you back.
last. They don't. They don't last 90 days.
Listen, message.
They
Y'all
don't
need to
last 90
stop all
days.
that, but
And I
stay true. Stay true to
yeah, that's
yourself.
why
When you stay true to yourself, and I love
definitely
what you said. I don't bend.
don't be in.
Don't bend.
Don't be
Be
in.
who you are.
Yep.
Zay Grassley, you're my new country music partner. And when you book those social media tours, have your people call my people, and I get it. I'll sing back up, okay? And we can
Got you.
get that duet
I got you. Definitely. We're
because
gonna
you
get
know
it
I'm
going.
old school country.
Let's
Whatever
do it.
Dolly Parton, I'm even Carrie Underwood, okay?
Okay,
I,
let's
I
do
can
it.
turn a Beyonce song into a country music song. I can turn any song. Okay?
Hey,
Call your
that's
girl. Call
that's
your
the
girl.
art. That's the art in you.
Listen,
Definitely. I
in
thank you
Tanya
so much,
Land,
Miss
I'm a
Tanya.
superstar. Okay?
Definitely.
So call me Zay. Zay, you've been wonderful. Much success to you.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
just praying. Y'all need to connect with Zay Grassley. Go to the social media. Go to YouTube. Even if you need a tag, I'm
Come
pretty
see
sure he
me.
can book for that.
Come see me. Come
Come
see me.
see him. You have the money right. Don't have your money funny and your change strange either.
Uh-huh. You
That's
will be
right. No,
stuck
because
standing at the door.
Zay been doing tattoos for 13 years now. Come on.
Hmm.
Zay, much success.
Thank you
You're
so
gonna
much. Much
return when you
success to
kick off
you.
that tour,
Oh
and we're
yes.
gonna sing together, okay? Right now,
Let's do it.
the sinuses are not making me be great. That's why I haven't, said let's sing a duet.
Get you
But
some
when we come
warm
back,
tea and honey.
warm tea and honey.
There you
I'm gonna
go.
do it. All
There
right,
you go.
Zay. Thank you. Real Talk with Tanya White. Tune in Thursday as we're going to talk to Kay as she talks about her last Slay with Kay event that is November 17th. Until then, continue to share this and love, live, and spread light. Bye bye.